You know, the United States can't subsidize a country for $200 billion a year. We don't need their cars. We don't need their energy. We don't need their lumber. We don't need anything that they give. We do it because we want to be helpful, but it comes a point when you just can't do that. You have to run your own country. And to be honest with you, Canada only works as a state. It doesn't. We don't need anything they have.
A few moments later.
Canadians are boycotting American vacations.
By plane, down 20%. By car, down 35%.
It's projected that the U.S. will lose $12.5 billion compared to last year.
And one state getting hit the hardest is Vermont. How's business going in Burlington right now?
Not so great, actually. You know, it's been slow.
We've seen credit card spending down 30 or 40%.
People get their feelings hurt and then they don't want to come here.
So what's the most aggressively liberal state doing to win their neighbors back?
There's the stickers to attract Canadian tourists, just to let them know that we're Canadian friendly.
Not every idea is going to be a winner.
We've got a sign on our door. Canadians are welcome.
This isn't an ice trap, is
No,
it?
no.
It's like with cops and prostitutes.
Yeah,
you have
absolutely.
to tell me if I ask you. Are you a prostitute?
Yeah, no, I'm not, I swear.
Traditionally, this is Church Street, and so City Council just voted to rename it as Canada Street.
You're putting country over God.
Yes, actually, I had not thought about it in those terms.
Whatever it takes to get those loonies.
We're doing some free parking stuff for them.
But you got to think bigger than free parking.
What about our naked person thing?
Do you have a naked person
Yes,
thing?
we do. In this town, you can walk around naked.
Yeah, do you think maybe the naked people is a reason Canadians don't visit as much?
Vermont reports that hotel reservations by Canadians are down 45%, credit card spend by Canadians down 36%. In New York City, bookings by Canadians are down 45%.
We have to operate as independent actors in this space and think of ourselves, because clearly Washington is not.
While riding the ski lifts, I had many friendly conversations, which frequently touched on politics. I often apologized for Donald Trump's acrimonious language and tariffs and pointed out that less than a third of Vermonters had voted for them. I hope that they would continue to visit and feel welcome. Pete, lastly, you spoke to folks at JPEAK and a number of other businesses, as we've mentioned. Are there any other specific conversations that stick out to you from that reporting?
Yeah, Steve Wright is the president of JPEAK Resort, and he says that among Canadian ski pass holders, early sales for next winter season's passes are down by 80%, 80%. And he actually has been calling the heads of those households to find out, why aren't you booking? And he said, almost to a person, it's not because of the taxes, it's not because of the currency exchange, it's not because of trouble crossing the border. He said it's because of the challenge to their sovereignty by our administration. And so there's a growing sense in places like the Northeast Kingdom especially that it is going to be a rough summer ahead as it relates to tourism dollars coming in from Canada.
No one is visiting the United States. Tanks are rolling up and down the streets of American cities. The president has custom treating foreign travelers like suspects the second they land. And now he's raised the price of an American visa to almost $500. Of course, America is the only country in the world that saw tourism drop this year. The U.S. has received 3 million fewer visitors in the first 7 months of this year, and with the cost of the new visa, it's only going to get worse. Billions have already been lost, and the steepest decline came from our fucking neighbors to the north, Canada. Car trips from Canada are down 37%, air travel is down 26%, and for the first time ever, Americans travel to Canada more than Canadians drive into America. And U.S. cities are desperate. Buffalo put up signs that read, "Buffalo loves Canada," and offered $500 to any Canadians that came, and none did. Seattle food tours saw Canadian customers cut in half. In New York, an international dance competition was postponed after foreign dancers pulled out, saying they weren't comfortable coming to Trump's America. I think the World Travel and Tourism Council said it best. While other nations are rolling out the welcome mat, the U.S., under President Trump, is putting up a close sign.
Seeing on the news all these American businesses complaining that Canadians aren't coming down for holidays, we're not spending money down there anymore. You know why we're not doing that, right? It isn't a surprise, right? Like, have you been listening to the news lately? You shouldn't be shocked that we don't want to spend money down there. And also the American news keeps saying Canadians aren't traveling. No, we are traveling. We're just not traveling to the US. We're traveling to Europe. We're traveling to Asia. We're going down to Mexico, that other country that you hate. For a trip to basically California, to stay there, to spend money there for a week or even 2, I could probably go 3 weeks to Australia. I could probably go 3 weeks to Tokyo. And it sucks because, I mean, I would go to Florida in a second. Also, I could also just go to Mexico, where they're not trying to make us the 51st state. But it's like, how do you not understand that the math isn't mathing? Your president wants to forcefully take us over by war, by tariffs. He doesn't respect our prime ministers, calling them governor, and he just really seems to not respect us at all. It'd be a surprise that we don't want to go there.
Imagine this. An entire US state literally renaming its streets after Canada just to get Canadians to visit again. Sounds like a comedy skit, right? Well, in Vermont, it's real life, and the Daily Show even went there to talk to residents. And trust me, it's hilarious.
Americans and Canadians have been best friends for decades until this guy came along.
One of the nastiest countries to deal with is Canada. Canada was meant to be the 51st state. They need us. We don't need them.
Okay, that was bad. But Canadians are polite. They're not going to let a little trash talk ruin our friendship.
Canadians are boycotting American vacations. By plane, down 20%. By car, down 35%.
It's projected that the U.S. will lose $12.5 billion compared to last year.
And one state getting hit the hardest is Vermont. How's business going in Burlington right now?
Not so great, actually. You know, it's been slow.
We've seen credit card spending down 30 or 40%.
People get their feelings hurt and then they don't want to come here.
Vermont, America's quiet green maple syrup loving state, is in panic mode. Why? Because Canadians, their lifeblood when it comes to tourism, have cut them off. Canadians used to pour into Vermont for skiing, shopping, camping, and yes, maple syrup. But after Trump's whole Canada should be America's 51st state rhetoric, Canadians said, no thanks, we're done. And now, even though it's a blue progressive state, they can't escape the boycotts.
So why are Canadians staying away?
Frankly, Canada should be the 51st state.
Most offensive to northern neighbors like Julie Morrison has been President Trump's rhetoric.
This threat of annexation by, this very powerful, militarized ally, we took it very, very seriously. And honestly, it's frightening.
Morrison has happy memories of her many American vacations, but now she's staying home.
We don't have a lot of tools. And, well, tourism is one of the tools that we have.
I feel that I've been slapped across the face by this president.
Quebecer Harold White has vacationed in Maine for the last 6 decades. This year, he canceled his annual trip.
And I have many U.S. friends, American friends, that I will not be seeing in person for a while because of this. But that's c'est la vie, as we say here in Quebec.
Jay Peak is a mountain resort just a few miles south of the border. In wintertime, typically half their season pass holders are Canadian. Most of them French-speaking Quebecois. That's clear even in summertime.
The signage that we have here is mostly all bilingual.
General Manager Steve Wright has proof
I have the maple leaf here.
That the bonds here run deep.
My dad is Canadian.
Literally in your blood.
Big connection, not just the dollars and the cents, but the DNA.
Even so, as the ski season wound down here and it came time to renew, many longtime Canadian season pass holders said no.
We are 30 to 35% off.
And you're sure that this is overall their antipathy to what's coming out of the White House?
Well, yeah, as much as I guess you can be sure of anything. I called 100 households myself, Canadian households who had purchased season passes last year by this point, who have not yet purchased.
You called them directly?
I called them directly, personally. I got through to probably 70% of them. And to a household, they referred back to the 51st state narrative as being emblematic of the reason that they're not coming.
Other areas of the resort have also been hit.
We've already seen 30% of our Canadian golf groups cancel. We do 42 weeks worth of hockey tournaments. We're expecting that business to be off upwards of 40% by the end of the year.
Tourism across this northern part of Vermont is dependent on Canadians, yet they are nowhere to be found.
Normally, the Vermont highways in summertime are full of cars with Canadian license plates. Here we are in summer on the road. We haven't seen any.
Their absence affects even non-tourism businesses.
What's devastating is when they come, there's an economic impact to our community. Towns will benefit positively.
Because they eat and shop and sleep and...
Gallons of maple syrup.
By the way, if you love videos like this and want to support the channel, you can click the link over here and below to buy me a coffee. Every coffee helps me keep digging into these hilarious but powerful stories. Residents are literally trying everything to win Canada's heart back. Streets being renamed to things like Canada Lane, local diners serving Putin specials, even stores putting up maple leaf flags outside. It's like Vermont is saying, please notice us. Eh? And here is the kicker. Vermont voted blue. They didn't vote for Trump. But the boycott is not about red states or blue states. It's about the U.S. as a whole. Canadians have drawn the line. The Daily Show sent a crew down to Vermont, and the interviews, absolutely priceless. Imagine a Vermonter saying, we love Canada, we even know all the words, the old Canada, just come back, please. The desperation is funny, but also kind of sad. Because while Vermont is begging, Canadians are like, sorry, boycott means boycott. Not even a blue state can override that.
We're not going to America. We're not spending our money there. It's Canada first, baby.
On social media, Canadians are loud and proud about boycotting trips to the U.S.
Flights, accommodation.
Michelle Porter is among them. She had a Florida trip for herself and 6 family members all booked. But Donald Trump's tariff threats changed everything.
I just canceled it.
Canceled a 2-week vacation, including flights, accommodations, and Disney World tickets. Thanks to insurance, she got most of her money back, but she lost about $1,300 US and says she has no regrets.
As Canadians, that we need to stick together and as unity, and I raise my children to feel the same, be proud Canadian.
Let's be real, Vermont relies heavily on Canadian tourism. Canadians bring in billions across border towns, ski resorts, and shopping malls. Without them, businesses are struggling, but Canadians aren't budging because for them it's about principle. The 51st state comment wasn't just a joke, it was an attack on sovereignty, and Canadians decided we are not going to bankroll you anymore. And here's the irony, Vermont can rename streets, hang up maple leaf banners and play Celine Dion on every corner, but the boycott isn't about Vermont, it's about America's image as a whole. Canadians see one country, not pockets of red versus blue. So if you're in Texas or Vermont, Canadians are making their stand clear. No more US trips until respect is back on the table. So here's the question. Will Vermont's Canadian love first work, or will Canadians keep saying, nice try, but no thanks? Honestly, from what I'm seeing, the boycott is only getting stronger. Vermont might love Canada, but Canada's love? That ship may have sailed. Let me know what you think in the comments. Will Canadians ever forgive Vermont, or is this boycott permanent? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more global political and economic stories with a twist. So YouTube thinks you like this video over here. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Au revoir.